From the Easy Go Studios, KLAW Lawton Fort Sill. Another hour of Oklahoma's best country on KLAW 101, a taste of country station.
It's now time for the J&J Burk Home Show on KLAW 101. For the next 30 minutes, you'll hear information that will save you money around your house. With your hosts, Eric Sherem and Jay Burk.
And a good Saturday morning to you at Jay Burk in the studios with another special guest. We'll get to that in a minute. Beautiful way to start off Saturday, especially after all of our rain this week.
Oh, it's gorgeous, and what a great time in Lawton, America. I mean, look at all the things that are going on in Lawton today. We have Open Streets that's going to be downtown, and so many other events that are going on in Lawton. We have the Philharmonic that's tonight, and so many different activities. I always hear a lot of times, what is there to do in Lawton? All you got to do is just look around. There's stuff all the time, but today especially, they have a concert out at Fort Sill.
Lieutenant Dan, Gary Sinise coming to town.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, hey, what a beautiful day.
This started actually last week. I love this time of the year, spring. It's all these activities start to come, and you start to do more. You know, the Apache Rattlesnake last week festival annual event, and then we had our garage sale down at the Coliseum, over 100 booth spaces there. So,
wow.
Yeah, people are starting to get out now, and you know, whether you're working in the yard or starting to do stuff, and especially I got to do mowing today because it's wet. Now it's dry out enough to go, okay. So
don't you hate that? You're thinking, just
my Saturday, where is it going?
What are you kidding me?
Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about the connection between weather and the home improvement and ideas that you can save money at home. Before we get started with that, and our special guest that you have in our studios this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about, I want to make sure that we're up to date on these rebates because, you know, we had our guest the past 2 weeks from CenterPoint Energy and from AEP representation just kind of saying about these programs. And it's not going to be an unlimited amount that's going to last forever, and there is a time frame on it, and so you want to be able to strike while the iron's hot, so to speak, and this is that time because it's springtime and you're thinking about changing out your heat and air and possibly looking at it. Are those rebates still in effect?
They're still in effect. We did get a message this week that to please get everything that we had in, so that worries me.
Yeah.
They put half of the money in up front for half the year, and it's supposed to last till July 1. And so basically what we've been told is if they run out of money early, then they'll cut the rebates back. So if you're seriously considering wanting us to look at getting you the rebates, now's the time because those rebates, they may be less money than what they are today. So we definitely want to take a look at that. But yes, we still have PSO and CenterPoint rebates. We sell Lennox equipment. Lennox has rebates right now for the equipment itself. There's no better time than springtime to look at doing new heating and air conditioning.
And in order to get that, it starts with an estimate. And we've already talked about this before at Endless. It's a free estimate from you. It's not like, you know, there's always a pushback and reservation when you say, okay, there's rebates, and then it's an automatic. People are going to say, oh, he's going to come in and say, I need it all replaced. And you've got countless stories that we've relayed over the time frame that's not the case. I mean, you're not there to replace something that's not broke, you know. But then the free estimate is a nice thing too, because, well, it's going to be a service call. It's going to be our time. And then you have and I was amazed about all the little gadgets that you attach to the door, look at air current, all the rest of that stuff. And we want you to contact us like with a question or even contact Jay. You can do that at info@jandjburk.com, or you can call us 581-3605. It's a designated line here. Even though we won't pick up an answer, you can just leave your question there. And if anyone does that, either via the email or for the phone this week, we're going to give away a prize. And this week's prize is
a digital touchscreen thermostat, $275 value.
Wow. Now, see, that's cool. I mean, you know, we gave away one of those service agreements. You know, we're thrilled. I mean, you know, each week you've pulled something out of a new hat there, Jay. But 275 digital thermostats. So get to typing away your question. I don't care how ludicrous you think it is. I want to ask Jay this. Info@jjburk.com. Just don't talk about aliens or something else like that. Just let's keep it to the home base. And then 581-3605 is our phone number.
And one of the things I wanted to bring up too was, if you missed some of our shows, and I know, you know, sometimes people are busy and they miss our shows, you can actually go to the KLAW website currently, and then you'll be able to go to my website probably in about a week. But go to the KLAW website, look at in the top corner, they have a link you can pull up that is the J&J Burk Home Show link, and it has all of our shows listed and who was our guest. And so if you've missed something, you think, hey, I want to hear about that PSO or hear about CenterPoint or hear about whoever our guest is that week, that's going to be on there forever. And so those those are on there, and you can listen to the entire show.
Well, we talk about, of course, you, heat and air. We're going to go to that, and we've talked about that, and we can answer and ask any kind of questions along that side. But what I like about your program that you wanted to make sure that everybody understood is this is everything for your home, inside and outside your home, that can save you money.
Absolutely.
And so it's not just a heat and air show, even though that's what J&J Burk does. That's why I love all your guests. And we may even get to the financial side of it, like mortgage rates and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
It's anything that will save you money in your home. And so that's why we've got another guest that's not really heat and air that we're going to talk to today.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. Actually, I do his heating and air, so he doesn't know much about heating and air.
That's good. He's not your competition.
Yeah, exactly. But Keith Jackson's our guest today, and with Jackson's Roofing, and we're glad to have you here, Keith. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for the invite. I would like to let everybody know that I did partake in needing a new central heat and air conditioning unit, and I called Jay, and Jay came right out, and I was a beneficiary of Jay's rebate programs, and I'm a very happy camper.
How much rebates did you get personally?
I think I ended up with about $900, I think, between PSO and CenterPoint Energy.
Yeah.
So it's very worthwhile.
Well, I think people still don't understand that, because everything always comes with where's the hidden, who's giving these rebates and why. And the thing is, well, they're doing it, to save energy. And it's cost. I think you did it best when you talked about, instead of having to build up more for the electric company to build bigger and bigger, they get more efficient and they can get more out of it that way.
Right. And also for Keith actually did it at one of his office buildings. And so he did the commercial side, not the residential side. And so the rebates are different for commercial than they are residential. But again, they do have them even out there for people that have commercial buildings.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So that's good too.
That's another one we were able to, he actually is the first person in Lawton to get a commercial rebate. So
I didn't even know that.
Very nice.
So there you go.
So they don't mind writing those checks.
They'll write. So but anyway, Keith got that from CenterPoint and from PSO. So it was nice to be able to finally use the commercial rebates here locally, and we can again, we give the free estimates whether it's commercial or residential.
Now, one more thing too is with that they mentioned that these it's a short program and that it can go away at any time, but you want to act on it. But then also the turnaround time for some of these are faster on your end. You don't have to wait for a check or checks in the mail. It'll be there in 6 months after you paid for it.
Well, you see, Keith he had to wait for a check, but just recently they just came up with the deal where now PSO and CenterPoint Energy, they're instant rebates. You take them directly off the invoice. No more waiting on a check.
That's great.
And so
you have to wait on the check. It's just
Jay's
the customer
waiting on the
doesn't
check. Jay's not eating, but
I don't
everybody else
mind. I don't mind you waiting, Jay. It's no problem.
But
you need to wait.
I was relatively surprised. I think I received my checks within 2 weeks after the job was completed. So I thought once again, 6-8 weeks we were going to get this check back, but it really came in really quick. So I'm very happy.
Well, everyone wants to take advantage of rebates. So we're going to talk about roofing, and I'll tell you what, how apropos this is after a big storm and a little bit of hail, and I know that I got a guy that works on cars, and he's been busy because people have been coming in. So this is kind of one of those things too.
I have relatives that do windshield, and so Gene Burk Auto Glass and Shane Burk and them, they do the glass. And this time of year with the big hailstorms and stuff, they get a lot of busted windows and things like that. So, but Keith, what we really wanted to talk about today was, and I think a lot of the questions that came around that people call me all the time and say, you know what, Jay, who do you recommend as a roofer? And obviously we recommend you, but our we've heard a lot of stories about people that come to town. We have these big storms, and the storm hits, and 9,000 roofers show up. And I mean, you'll see them up and down the roads, and the signs in everybody's yard. Joe's Roofing, Larry's Roofing, and I've never heard of Joe or Larry. I don't know who they are. They're not from Lawton. And then they do these jobs because as a council person, I end up getting these phone calls. Hey, Larry Roofing did my job, and it was an $18,000 job, and guess what? Larry won't answer the phone, and my roof is leaking bad. So kind of give us a little insight, if you will, about why it's important to use local people that have insurance and licensure and things like that, and I know you know all about that.
Jay, it is very important because since I've been doing this, and it's been for quite a long time now, that is the number one problem I think that municipalities, citizens have in towns. It's a hailstorm will hit, and I know that there's a weather app actually for roofing companies that these guys who what I call professional storm chasers, and they don't do anything but chase storms around the country. and they'll find a hailstorm in the northwest part of Lawton, and they know that it's the northwest part of Lawton due to some sort of weather app they have, and here they come. And I had some lady said, I swear that 24 people knocked on my front door wanting to know if they could give me a free roof estimate. So it is rampant. It's not a good deal, because I don't know how many stories I have had that people call me 6 months, a year down the road after they've had their roof redone, and all of a sudden they're saying, Keith, I've got a leak. Can you come help me? And I said, well, did you just have your roof replaced? And yes, we did, but I can't get in touch with them. They're gone now. They were one of these companies from St. Louis that flew in here overnight to do my roof, and they're gone. And it really happens. So it is a problem, but it really happens in Lawton, Oklahoma, that you have storm chasers that just here.
Yeah, and I think that, we have it in heating and air as well. We have people that come in and don't stay but a year, and then they're gone, and people wonder, well, what happens with my warranty? Well, your warranty left with that company.
It sure did. It was good till they got to the end of the block.
So it's, and I've had people say, can you come give me my warranty? Well, I might be able to warranty your part, but the labor's not warranted, and so then they end up having to pay another charge. But
before you go, the other issue that we have lots of problems with is people who are just not reputable people or licensed people or insured people. You have people that will knock on your door knowing you're needing a roof estimate. They'll give you an estimate, and they're not licensed or insured. And the first thing they want to ask you was, would you mind fronting me enough money to go down and buy my material, and I'll come back then and do your roof? And you'll be surprised how many people will do that. How many people will give you money up front to do your roof? And I've then got that follow-up call from a lady just a few days ago, just in tears, just crying, because that guy never showed back up and has not been seen or heard from again. Yeah. And it just breaks your heart when this little lady was about 75, 76 years old and just got took.
And that's terrible, because I've heard the same stories. They've said, hey, I put money down and they didn't come back. And you're just, I always tell people, and do background checks on these companies. Find out where they're from and what they're doing. And
it's not hard to look in the phone book
and they
see
probably
an
sound
address.
reasonable too. And that's why the other thing is that they want to gravitate to it. Maybe they have someone else check it out, and they're like half the price. And so they're thinking, wow,
Exactly.
I got a really good deal.
Exactly. That's what the problem is. They can beat our estimates because we had to pay insurance, and we had to pay workman's comp, and we had to pay all the above. And here they can come in at $500 to $1,000 cheaper on a roof estimate.
Exactly. Well, one of the things too is that I think we wanted to talk about was, people we know we see hail, and when it wasn't that many weeks ago that it came outside, looked like it snowed the next day because there was so much hail that happened overnight.
I took a picture. It was my whole driveway.
Unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And I know it wasn't really big hail, at least in the area I was in, but it was it covered the ground for sure. But Keith, what can a homeowner do? And again, I don't know anything about roofing, so what can a homeowner do if they think, you know what, I had hail last night. It was pretty big hail. Is there something they can look for, or they can see, or when they, I look up on my roof and I don't know. I really can't tell.
Down below, there's shingles. They're still there.
Yeah, I would know if there was some missing, but if there's none missing, but I've had a pretty good hailstorm, what do I look for?
Actually, that is a big problem, because you look from the ground and you look up there, and everything looks normal. But you can do one of a couple of things, and that is you can yourself climb the ladder and climb up on the roof and simply walk around and look to see if you got any scratches, dings, or dents of that nature. And if you do, and you think you might, well, give us a call. And we'll come out and give you a free roof estimate. We'll take a look at it on a professional basis. And if we feel like you need a new roof, then our advice to you would be to call your insurance company to send an adjuster out to give you a look-see as well. Right. But we can give you a free estimate, and that's probably what I would advise people do. Just simply give us a call. We'll come out and we'll look and we'll inspect, and we'll give you a free estimate.
Well, I'm a short, fat guy, so I'm not going to get on the ladder and get up on the roof. I'm going to call you anyway, because it'd be my luck. I'll fall off. But so I just want to tell my listeners, if you have a roof like I do, which is a huge pitch, don't get on that roof. Don't take a chance. Call a professional. Let them look at it. It is a scary thing to get up there, and then getting up there is usually not the issue. It's the getting down is the issue, and your knees get awfully wiggly when you start coming back down that ladder.
No matter what age.
Exactly.
You think you're capable of doing that.
Exactly. And so is there times, Keith, where you don't, and just like in heating and air, sometimes like we don't have to say it's a complete loss. Maybe there's just sections of your roof that need to be fixed, or some things, maybe a wind turbine has been blown off, or we've got some kind of roof deck issue. Are those things that you fix as well?
Sure. That's, a matter of fact, predominantly what roofing does now, because we haven't had a lot of storms here in the last 2 or 3, 4 years. And so now most of the jobs we get now are repair jobs. Again, turbines blown off, or I'd like to add air vents to my roof to get the heat out of my attic, or I'm missing a couple of shingles after a small windstorm. But that's predominantly what the business is right now, is patch and repair jobs. And we do that all the time. I have a fellow that's designated nothing but patch and repairs and vents.
Good.
I'm glad you addressed that, because that's a lot of times what Jay has to face, is that automatically when we call you up, you're going to come out and say, yep, you need a total new roof, and that's what people are afraid of, and that's why they don't make that call, and that's why they wait on Joe's, roofing from out of town come in, because they'll approach him and they'll say, hey, I can do this for half the price, and not the quality or anything that goes with it. So I think that's good, for us to understand that, at least when we call you, it's not going to be an automatic, oh, yeah, here he comes. And when he comes off the ladder, he's going to say, yep, I knew it. It's going to need a whole new roof,
Obviously, it depends on what the job is. But, our prices will range from $50 to replace a couple missing shingles to $2,000 or $3,000. Depends on how much damage is done to the side of a roof.
Sure. I know that I had a guy that actually said to me that he had bought a rent-to-own house, young couple, and the shingles are starting to look discolored, and they looked like they didn't have the the little, I don't know what y'all call that stuff that's on there, little pebbly looking,
gravel.
Little gravelly looking stuff. I call them pebbles. I don't know. Anyway,
they end up in your gutter.
Yeah, they're in your gutter. That's right. But he said, when those start to come off, does that mean my shingle is worn out? Or does that mean? I mean, is there a fix to that, or is it just it's time probably to replace?
When you initially put the roof on and the first rain hits, you're going to lose a lot of gravel down the gutter, and that's normal. But that thing sets over the years then, and you start to lose the gravel, and you can begin to look up on the roof, and you see a little slickness in the composite of the roof of the shingle itself. Then you've got a problem, and it really needs to be changed, because you also lose the integrity of the makeup of the roof. Shingles are made up of asphalt, they're made up of fiberglass, and they're just made up of paper and other materials. And so as you lose the gravel, the heat takes the UV rays out of that thing and just eats the shingle up over a period of time. And shingles, and let me give you a little bit of history, the shingles normally now, 25-year shingle, they call it, will actually last 8 or 9 years. A 30-year shingle, as the manufacturers call it, will actually last 12 to 15 years at the max. So when I give you a roof estimate and tell you that this is a 30-year shingle, I also try to explain that's manufacturer's designation, and to prorate a warranty from full replacement value to virtually replacing nothing. So there's a lot of detail in the fine print.
Yeah. So if you buy a roof and it's got a 30-year warranty on the shingle, that doesn't mean they're going to, in year 29, if your shingles start to go bad, they're going to come and give you all brand new shingles.
Right. First of all, roofers are pretty much only giving 5-year labor warranties. So in other words, if anything's going to happen to your roof, actually, it's going to happen within the first 6-8 months, the first time the wind picks up.
Right. And
we'll be right back out to fix it for nothing. But after that, then it has to do with time more than anything. And no, it's a prorated warranty, so within the first 5 years, you may get pretty much a complete roof change. But beyond that, the price goes down considerably. So if you're in 29, you may get somebody to hand you a check for $50.
That'd be my luck.
Well, but 29, you get full use of it.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the point.
Want to make sure that if you have a question for Jay, anything about the program or anything about your home that you'd like to have us pass along and try to find out, even maybe even have a guest in to talk about it, go to info@jjburk.com, info@jjburk.com, or you can call our designated hotline at 581-3605, because it's a live show. I can't stop and answer the phone, but you'll be able to leave a message, a recorded message, and we'll track you down and be able to help you out with that. Now, if you submit a question, everybody that does, either through the email or through the phone, will get registered for a weekly drawing. And this week is a pretty decent prize. You're talking about, well, it's worth the effort to fill it out and just go to info@jjburk.com.
Absolutely. You get that free touchscreen thermostat. We install it in your home, and so at no cost to you.
And that value?
$275.
$275 value. So, yeah, ponying up. I like that. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with the J&J Burk Home Show right here on KLAW 101.
Hi, Jay Burk here from J&J Burk Heating and Air. At J&J Burk, we've been helping you save money and have a more energy-efficient home with the Power Forward rebate program. Now, we can help you save even more. At J&J Burk, we've added rebates from CenterPoint Energy. Now, the combination of rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy could save you thousands on the purchase of the most energy-efficient heating and cooling systems available. If your energy bills are too high, and whose aren't, call J&J Burk and use the new PSO and CenterPoint Energy combined rebate program. J&J Burk is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at jjburk.com and learn how J&J Burk, PSO, and CenterPoint Energy can save you even more money now. I'm Jay Burk, and you can count on my company because you can count on me. Hi, I'm Jay Burk from J&J Burk Heating and Air. At J&J Burk, we just combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to save you thousands on the most energy-efficient systems available. J&J Burk is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or go to jjburk.com and learn how you could save thousands today. I'm Jay Burk, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Yeah, you can count on Jay. He's right here in the studios with us this morning, the J&J Burk Home Show, each and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Call us 581-3605 with a question or email info@jjburk.com. This week's prize is a digital thermostat installed, $275 value. So get to typing out your question today.
Absolutely. And we're so happy that we have Keith Jackson from Jackson's Roofing, and we're learning a little bit because it is spring and we have spring weather and storms and wind. And you know one of the things, Keith, that I noticed the other day, I was driving down the road and we have wind every day in Oklahoma, seems like.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, but I saw some shingles, and the roof looked fairly new, but the shingles were flapping. It looked like they were waving at me, as I drove by. And I remember thinking, is that a poor job? Obviously you don't want your shingles, I wouldn't think, to flap.
No, it's not necessarily a poor job. It may just be the fact that the shingles were laid in a cold weather time and they just have not had time to seal. As a lot of people know, there is an asphalt strip, a tar strip on the back of shingles, and it needs just a little bit of heat. It needs about 75, 80 degrees temperature outside in order for that shingle to stick then. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I get a lot of questions, well, maybe I shouldn't even lay shingles in the wintertime or the fall time. Well, no, you can, because as soon as the temperature reaches 75, 80 degrees, it's going to stick. It'll be just fine.
And they're still nailed down. They're not like just going to blow away.
That's why we don't see roofers out in the middle of winter.
That's right.
It's like, why do they wait and it's 100 degrees? Well, that's why they're getting up at 5 a.m. to start before the sun comes up. Yeah,
yeah. I just noticed that the other day going down the road. But another thing too is, I remember the days when you would call and you would call your insurance company because you didn't call the roofer first, because the insurance company was the guru about roofing, and at least that's what you thought. And so your insurance company comes out and they look at your roof and they say it's a total loss, and it's covered 100% or 80% or whatever it is now. And I know even on my roof, it's now just such a low percentage. I'm basically going to have to replace the roof myself pretty much if it ever. I hope it never goes away. And maybe I'll move before that happens. But,
oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, kind of tell us what you go through as a company with those insurance companies and what people can expect.
Well, gone are the days of full replacement value on roofs through insurance companies. Ever since the hurricanes hit the Gulf Coast several years ago, and the insurance company took such a terrible loss on replacing everything, buildings, roofs, and homes, the idea of roof coverage changed. So nowadays, all the major roof companies have went to what we call a percentage-based value of roof coverage. It depends on what you want to pay for your premium. They're now have gone to a 2%, 3%, or 4% value. So if your home is a $200,000 home and you want a low premium you'll take to 4%. So the premium on your insurance will be low. Well, 4% of $200,000 is $8,000 deductible that's coming in on your roof. So if you have that $15,000 roof job that we need to do, immediately $8,000 is coming off the top for deductible, and that's not all. Then they're going to deduct depreciation on top of that. So again, a lot of people are getting shocked now because a lot of people don't know what they have in insurance. A lot of people don't even understand insurance. We can help you walk through that exercise, but people are getting shock value when they call us, when they call their insurance company, and then that insurance company hands them a check for that $15,000 roof job, for $3,000, and they can't afford to get the roof done then.
Yeah.
Well, and the worst part of it is the insurance companies will say, hey, you have to have that roof replaced by January the 1st of 2017, or we're going to cancel on you. So it's prevalent right now. It's really bad. And I just urge people to call their insurance agents and go over their insurance policies with them and just see what would happen if you had an insurance claim on your roof. See what it's going to cost.
I think those are the important questions, because when they give you any policy, whether it's real estate and you just signed a transaction of buying a house, there's endless pages of, I don't want to read all that. And they say, hey, when you get insomnia and you can't go to sleep at night, just read this and you'll go to sleep. Well, I think just if you ask those kind of questions without having to read it all, they'll know exactly the answer, and you can be better informed, I think, when it comes to those decisions.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know. I'm going to call my insurance agent because I didn't know all that.
There's another little tricky thing they like to pull on you, and that is that, and I shouldn't say that, because there's just two types of policies that you can have, and that one of them is called an actual cash value replacement policy or a replacement value policy, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you have replacement value insurance, then they will reimburse the depreciation value of your insurance, of your cost of your roof. But if you don't now, if you have actual cash value, then they're only going to replace less the depreciation and less the deductible. So find out what kind of policy you have before you're shocked.
Yeah, because I would have been shocked. I know my roof is, I've got a 2-story house and I got a lot of shingles, and one of the things that we talked about just the other day was venting of attics and venting of roofs. And so are still the I forgot what they call that, ridge row? Is that
ridge vents.
Ridge vents. Is that still something that's viable?
Sure, it's needed, and because if you've ever been up in your attic to put clothes or stuff, you'll find out it's very, very hot, and all that does is cook your shingles. So we need to get ridge vents. We need to get vent caps up there so we can get some heat out of your attic, because it's literally cooking your shingle.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's already the show for this week, and talked about roofs. And if why don't you give your phone number? We not even discussed that. Yeah. Jay doesn't mind that if you want to give that out and say how we can reach you if you have any other questions about roofs.
Well, we are in the phone book, and we are Keith Jackson Roofing, LLC, and the telephone number is 357-8386. 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night.
Wow, he's trying to give me some kind of challenge, isn't he?
8 to 8, same great rate.
I've heard that somewhere. I don't know where.
We don't know.
Okay, make sure any questions, info@jjburk.com, call 581-3605. And, of course, you could get in for the drawing and we'll hopefully announce that next week, the winner of the digital thermostat, a $275 value.
Yes. Absolutely.
I guess we'll see you next week at 9 a.m. So that's it. Hopefully, I have another exciting guest. We don't know who you're going to pull out of the hat for next week.
It's always exciting.
J&J Burk Home Show right here on KLO 101. Have a pleasant and great weekend.
Hi, I'm Jay Burk from J&J Burk Heating and Air. At J&J Burk, we've combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to